Very weird.
T3 Media.
Through the media.
Hey, what do we got?
We are putting a spotlight on the concept of water cooler television. Shows where weekly episodes become communal must-see live events that dominate the workplace conversation. But is it more fun to binge watch and theorize between seasons for a year for a show like Stranger Things, or have something coming out weekly on a streaming platform and being able to theorize and wait in between the episodes?
That is the question. What do you prefer? Do you like the way the world has changed? This Netflix mentality, binge it and then wait a whole year for the next one, or are you still in the whole weekly thing and let it stretch out kind of mentality?
Here's where I'm at.
Okay.
I want to say week to week, make it last. It's so nice. I tend to like on stuff like that. I sort of miss the analog old school way of doing things. Right. But I have now gotten so spoiled that the second I watch a show that doesn't I'm like, what do you mean?
I gotta wait.
There's only an episode. What do you mean? Like, I hate it.
We've gotten so spoiled.
But it is nice. Like, I get frustrated, but then it's also like, even just when quarantine started, we started watching like What We Do in the Shadows, and it was super fun to binge watch a season, and then we caught up with the second season, and it did give us a really nice, like, whatever that was, every like Friday morning going, oh, there was a new one last night, and it was exciting. But I'm definitely spoiled. I definitely do like a good binge watch. I do like being able to pace it out to my schedule, because it's like, I'm not big on like watching a season in a go, but being able to be like, oh, I have a couple hours, like, I'm getting caught up on this. I'm having a great time. I'm going to watch one more episode before bed.
Right.
I do think it's kind of preferable. And I do think, it does help that, like, I know what's going on. I'm not, because how many shows too have you like between weeks or between kind of gone, oh my God, I kind of forgot what happened there. I'm not as interested. Yeah.
That's their downfall of binge. When Netflix first started perfecting their streaming, and what was it, House of Lies, when that they had. I'll use that one for example. When I first saw the first season of House of Lies, and like Orange Is the New Black, you hurry up and I can watch the whole season that debuted. That debuted like 2:00 in the morning here in Houston.
Or House of Cards, I think was
House of Cards, and I would watch it all night.
House of Lies is a show, which is why my brain was like, that was on like TNT or something. Yeah,
that's a different show. And then I would talk about it with my friends or in chat groups. And for me, I could stretch that out for a couple of months. Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? Or when you find other people who haven't binged it or caught up to it yet, you can kind of stretch it out. But I feel like that was during a time when you were binging something and then you would be quick to binge the next thing. That was starting to become a fun thing. But now that there's so many different platforms, so many different shows now, it's turned into like hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of options now that you can just stream. Forget regular TV. Now you've gotten to a point where it's like, do I want to even watch that? And like, do I have time to watch this? And do I have time while I'm watching? It's just so much. So now that shows like Mandalorian and other shows are starting to do the whole week by week thing again, taking us back to the roots of weekly episodes. I'm kind of happy for that. It's like, to me, it's like a breath of fresh air. You're talking about, like, when the Mandalorian came out, it wasn't a one and done. We only talk about it for a week and then nobody's talking about it again. For months, it was like, did you see this, the latest episode? Or did you see this? That conversation stretched out for a good chunk of time, and it felt good to me. I liked it. So I see the pros and cons on both.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time taking a hard side. Like I said, emotionally, I like the idea of having to wait for something, but I know the reality of it, and I very much prefer just being able to crank through something in my time. Plus, I would argue the internet is kind of 2 points to this. A, things have become there is so much content now.
Our attention span is
not,
shit now.
3 or 5 big channels where you're going, everybody watches the big shows on these channel week to week to week. There's just insane amounts of content. So everything's so niche, so specific. But I would argue that the internet allows that energy to still exist, but kind of eliminated the need for like the water cooler show.
Right.
Because like I've had shows I love where I like the first day they're out and binge watching it, and I'll go on like Reddit, I'll go on message boards, I'll go on channels like this, and there are people, you know, if it's 8-hour-long episodes at 8 a.m. after they dropped it at midnight going, I watched all of it, oh my God, let's talk. So I do think there is a funny, like, that's still such human nature of like, if we're excited about a show, we want to find the other people who watched it and talk about what we thought. But I think now it happens in a really different way. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either, you know, and
I agree.
You can,
it has created the whole issue about like spoilers and whatnot. When you were back in the day and before DVRs and whatnot, when people were recording things with VCRs and then DVRs and whatnot, people still kind of were like, hey, I haven't watched it yet. And even if you did get spoiled, you got spoiled with that one episode. You didn't get spoiled with the whole thing and whatnot. But now in the age of streaming, DVRs and VCRs are obsolete now because everything is saved. It locks it wherever you stopped, and it'll pick it back up again wherever you began. So the ability, we're taking it for granted, in my opinion. Like we know it's there. I can get back to it even anytime I want to, or I can watch it all in one sitting.
Well, it's so funny too because I feel like we've had to just, as a culture, create sort of our own rules for etiquette.
Oh yeah.
Like I've definitely seen people going like, all right, it's been a month. Now you can kind of go with the spoil. Like we've sort of created our own like.
Oh, that's a good topic. What? Okay,
don't do it right. If you watched everything, you know, and you're done at 8 a.m. the day it came out, give it at least a week or two. Let the people with a job like catch up.
Well, that's a good topic. Let's go there. What are your rules on certain things? Like, give us. Let's talk about different scenarios. Like live TV, like a sporting event. I didn't see the Super Bowl last night. Don't tell me who won.
That's front page news the next day.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, dude, it was on free television. You knew it was coming. It's one day only. We're talking about it. I don't care. I don't care if you didn't see it. Too bad, Brian.
I can't imagine. I can't help but picture someone on like November 4th. Like, wait, I recorded the election.
Yeah, no spoiler. Am I moving to Canada? Don't spoil it. Oh, I can see that. But what are your rules for like a Stranger Things season 4? It just dropped at 2:00 in the morning or midnight in California. You were planning on watching it in one sitting until the sun rose, but you didn't make it. And then at 10 a.m. in the morning, you turn your phone on. Wasn't it cool when the aliens came out and then Super Mario Brothers jumped out of that spaceship and destroyed the world?
I love that third season.
Yeah. So how would you feel about that? Like those situations?
You know, I'm pretty anti-spoiler.
Like meaning
I get that there has to be, but I think within a reasonable chunk of time, there is just an etiquette of like, you can tag things, you know, I've seen people do the like, here's what I thought about Stranger Things, and then think ahead to make it long enough that it's going to be a read more of like, click this if you want it. But sharing like memes and stuff that spoil big stuff, I think that's a couple months.
Yeah.
Sort of just, you know, and it's like, whatever, it's your page, post whatever you want. But I think etiquette wise, it's like, give people a heads up if you're going to post like a major season spoiler. Give that a month or two. Give people a chance to catch up. I get that there has to be a bit of a point where it's like,
dude, we're talking about this.
Like, I know what happened at the end of Sixth Sense. Like, I get it. It's 2020. But like, yeah, stuff like Stranger Things, I think within a couple months.
Yeah. Like when a movie comes out like a month or two afterwards, then it's fair game. Like it's fair use right now to talk about this.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, with the whole, when it's a week by week thing, if you're spoiled on episode 3 because you heard somebody talking about it, Well, then you still have another surprise that might be coming up in episode 4 and so episode
You
5.
have 1 hour of TV to watch in a week. Keep
Right,
up.
exactly. So it's a little bit, it was a lot better back then. If you got spoiled on something, at least, unless it was like a mid-season finale or something, then it was like, oh man. But with a binge, a streaming show, yeah. If you haven't started watching it yet and you overhear your coworkers talking about the last episode, that it pisses everybody, and everybody's line is different. Like, some people don't care about spoilers. Some people don't care if they hear a spoiler; they'll still watch it and enjoy it. I'm kind of there sometimes.
Mad if they know there is a spoiler.
Yeah, people don't
like. I know people who are like, "No, don't tell me that there's a spoiler in it, because now I'm going to be waiting for like a twist the whole time."
The whole time, yeah. Don't. Well, but dude, there's the fact that you haven't even watched. Of course, there's a spoiler. You haven't watched anything yet. That's
have you seen a movie?
Yeah, the first minute is a spoiler. Like, there are credits. Oh, spoiler alert! Like, people are that sensitive. Don't tell me that there were.
Whoa, what? That train came right at the camera. Spoiler.
Right. That MGM lion came up at the beginning. Oh man, spoilers! Like, people are very sensitive with that. Like, Fox Searchlight.
Water melts the witch. Oh man!
Oh man!
Bother watching it.
I can't. Yeah, I don't want to watch it anymore. I mean, so everybody's different on that. So yeah. So I'm kind of. You know what? I'm appreciative of either or. If it's the week by week thing, I can reset my brain back to a time where television ran like that, and at 3:00 in the morning, TV just ended, and there wasn't like a billion, shows to watch on cable and whatnot. Or if it's we're gonna throw it all at you at once, I'll set myself up for that. There's a chance that this could be spoiled for me, and I'll prep myself, stuff like so. I'll get myself ready depending on what the situation is. So that's where I am.
And honestly, I could argue for the week by week thing, because I do think it's cool. There's so much TV shows that I could technically be watching week by week. I don't. I'm usually like, I'm watching like 8 other things. I will get to this later, and I end up just watching it when it's all released.
Right.
Anyway, so moot point. Do what you want.
My friend Joe Perez, you just got Netflix. He's the biggest monster sci-fi conspiracy theory nut that I know, and you still haven't started watching Stranger Things. Dude, what the hell are you waiting for? Get on it, bro. I don't know what my friend's problem is. So, I mean, like, he's been spoiled on a bunch of things, but he doesn't care. Like, dude, get on it. I'm sorry, that was off topic.
I don't feel like you can spoil Stranger Things for it's such a pastiche. It's such a
It's all about the cliche.
In a movie in the 80s, you kind of know where this is going.
Every episode is all about nostalgia moments. Yeah. You're right. You can't really spoil it that much, but yeah. But let us know what you guys think, guys, about the whole weekly episodic shows versus binging it all up front, and which do you prefer? Where are your lines at when it comes to like things like spoilers, and are you the type of person that you don't want to hear anything? I don't want to know that the Disney castle had the little thing going over and whatnot. I don't want to know. Or are you like, I don't care, just let's talk about it. I don't. Where are you at? And we'll talk about it on We Got Your Mail.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or We Got Your Mail.